Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Nina's Chelsea Corner. If you're new round here, Chelsea beat Servette 2-0 at Stamford Bridge in what was our Conference League debut. Still getting used to saying that. So half the job's already done, and I say half because we do have to go away and play Servette in Geneva. And judging by how they played last night, I think they were a very good side. And I say that because I knew pretty much nothing about them beforehand, and they surprised me. They sure did give us a game, and they looked a lot more match fit than us. Came with intent, lots of adrenaline, and just looked like they were ready to have a go at Chelsea. So yeah, fair play. Wanted to start off by giving them some credit. It was a bit of a meh game in terms of performance and how convincing we looked, but we got a result. It's a win. It's Maresca's first win actually as Chelsea head coach. So I'm going to be a bit more positive about this one. And I know that there's a lot going on right now with talk surrounding Chelsea being potentially very underwhelming, very poor, just not looking as good as we should be. But I think again I take more positives than perhaps other fans because it is literally game 2. We're still yet to work out our starting 11, but yeah, it maybe was a bit more frustrating, particularly in the first half, than we perhaps would have liked. But we'll get into the match review, we'll talk about the game, we'll talk about the team selection and the substitutes and everything else there is to talk about. But before I do, I'm going to ask you guys to please hit the like button on this video. Really helps me out. And if you're a new viewer and you've not been you've not come across my channel yet, if you enjoy this video, please hit the subscribe button at the end. Thank you so much. So yeah, Servette came to Stamford Bridge with a real point to prove. They really arrived with so much intensity and they maintained it throughout the 90 minutes. I thought that was quite remarkable because even when they were 1-0 down, even when they were 2-0 down, they still looked like they were looking for their goal. They were looking for their opportunity to punish us. They came close in the second half, particularly in the latter stages of the game. So I thought on the most part they did a pretty good job. And Chelsea, maybe it was a combination of us not looking at our best with them playing some good football against us. So yeah, a lot of fans said, oh, we should be beating Servette comfortably. Yeah, we should have. And perhaps you argue, why did it take a penalty for us to open the scoring? But it did, and that's okay. But I was at Stamford Bridge and there were things I didn't like. Mostly, yeah, there were things on the pitch, but I didn't like the fact that the fans booed at half-time. I didn't like the fact that some fans booed at full time, just because, and I've seen some people kind of defend it and say, oh, it's not aimed and directed at the players, it's at the owners. But ultimately, you're a player on the pitch and you're playing, you're getting booed. Of course, it feels like it's directed to you. Of course, they understand they're not performing to the best standard or perhaps as what is expected. So I think, it's fair to criticise. It's fair to say, oh, it was not good enough or it needed to be better. I think it's fair to say perhaps substitutes should be made. Things aren't working on the pitch, yeah, but booing? Really, where does it get anyone? Where does it get anyone? Because you think the owners care and are really going to do something about the boos, or really are going to kind of take offence? No, it's the players that we're really just going to stamp on their confidence if this continues. So yeah, I really didn't like that, and I hope that improves, and I hope obviously with performance and results kind of picking up, we can kind of get behind the team and just be supporters and be supportive, because these players are so young. A lot of them haven't got the thick skin that a lot of footballers kind of grow on to have throughout their careers, because they experience just everything, the good and the bad side of being a footballer and receiving support and perhaps sometimes hate and criticism, unfortunately. But yeah, these are young players, they're not used to it yet, and I just think you're going to strip their confidence if you do this so early on into the season. So yeah, there's a time and place to criticise, but I don't think that we should be booing. Never will, never will. Anyways though, let's get into the game and talk about it. So team selection, Maresca switched it up big time from Man City. I think he handed out some full debuts to those that maybe appeared just for a little bit, like Vega, like Pedro Neto. It was interesting to see Mark Guiu as well. And I think on the most part, it seemed pretty decent. I think Vega put in quite a shift. I was impressed with his display. He's a very big guy, he's physical as well, and I think that if he can sort of be useful in that sense in the Premier League and develop that, have good quality, I think he could be quite integral to our team, and hopefully maybe something like a Malagusta equivalent out on the left-hand side. I thought Mark Guy looked pretty physical, looked well. I mean, I like the fact that he kind of was receiving the ball with his back to defence, but when he turned at times, he either fell, was pushed off too easily, and it didn't really lead to much. The hottest topic, obviously, of Mark Guy for yesterday has got to be the open goal that he missed. I mean, he worked hard to create that chance for himself. You know, he was pressing a lot, put pressure on Frick, I believe, their goalkeeper, and he ultimately, felt the pressure, but he didn't finish the job he had started. So it was a very kind of moment of kind of like, wow, so Chelsea striker of you. But yeah, I felt a bit bad for him because, again, I think he's young and that comes with it, and that is exactly why I believe that Chelsea should be going in for a striker before the window closes, because I'm sorry, but it's not good enough to expect that a youngster like Guy, 18 years old, who's not been playing senior football, can't expect him to be scoring you, bagging you 20 plus goals in his first season. I think it's unfair. And then Jackson as well. Is that enough? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's just my standpoint, but I've spoken about the striker situation for the longest time, so I just feel like a bit of a broken record. We'll see what happens with that before the window closes. But yeah, in terms of Jorgenson making his not his debut in a Chelsea shirt, but obviously first time watching him play at Stamford Bridge, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm impressed. And as somebody who has been very apprehensive about Robert Sanchez since like day 5 last season at Chelsea, I'm very open-minded about Jorgenson becoming number 1 or perhaps starting against Wolves. I don't think that's a bizarre thing to say. I don't think it is out of the ordinary for him to have a go, because I think what he showed in terms of distribution, in terms of kind of composure on the ball as well, I think the saves that he made as well in the later kind of parts of the game were pretty impressive. He looks, quite cool. Obviously, we'll see what happens when he gets tested a little bit more, and we play kind of higher level opposition as well. If you do play him in the Prem, you know, I think that is going to be a real kind of audition for him then as well. But I think what he did does warrant a start for him. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But yeah, pretty impressive Jorgenson. I would say that defensively at times we were very kind of easily exploited, and I think Servette really kind of capitalised on that. They were very good at kind of getting the ball right up into our box with just a few passes, really. I thought their left winger looked pretty good. I can't remember his name, but yeah, he did cause us some trouble. And I think if they had a little bit more quality in the final third in terms of finishing chances, yeah, we probably would have conceded for sure in that game. So yeah, they really did have some things to show for themselves, just perhaps not that quality there in the final thirds. And again, you can kind of thank Jorgenson for that probably as well. He deserves credit for the clean sheet, certainly. But yeah, I think defensively we know that's going to be a big area to work on. I thought midfield looked decent. I think, you know, Enzo's assist to Noni Madueke was pretty good when he came on as a sub. Moises Caicedo obviously repping the captain armband. It's a strange one for me. It is really strange because you kind of, when you associate the captains that we've kind of had in the past, and you know, you look at Caicedo and he's kind of just in his second season, literally. He's been ripped apart by loads of different people in the past season. He's had it tough, and now he's captain. So I think it's a big responsibility to hand a player who's still, by the way, very young. 21 is he, or 22? But yeah, either way, very, very young, and is given this responsibility. So it's strange, but at the same time, I think hopefully that just pushes him to you know, try harder, be a bit more vocal, kind of exert those leadership skills alongside Enzo. But yeah, I'm all here for it. They've got my backing, they've got my support. So yeah, it's a new time at Chelsea, guys. There's no Terrys in the team right now, so this is this is kind of what we've got. You put the captain armband on and you just try and do your best to lead the team out and edge them on when they need it. So hopefully we can see those qualities there. Mykhailo Mudryk, another big talking point. For the wrong reasons, perhaps. I think he did some good things in that game, but this is now becoming repetitive with me saying that he did some good things and then the decision making is just lacking at the end. And I think, you know, Enzo Maresca made the same point where he does recognise that he's got good technical ability and he's good on the ball sometimes, and you know, he's quick, he can do that kind of trick and flick, but when it comes to making that kind of final decision, you know, do you shoot, do you cross, do you lay it off, do you sort of recycle the attack, it doesn't always come to him naturally. And I think that that's where perhaps his intelligence when he's playing is a little bit questionable, and it's like, when do we stop saying, when is it enough to stop saying kind of, oh yeah, he's got potential, he does the good things, but. So yeah, it's a big question mark there with Mudryk. There is definitely a good player in him. I don't know whether what he is showing though and continues to do is good enough, and if it's actually improving. But yeah, I know it doesn't help when he's had like so many different coaches and he's just consistently being instructed in a different way when he's kind of been shown. But yeah, it is very telling when the player is quite confused with what to do on the pitch. But on the other flank though, Noni Madueke came on, looked so bright. Wow, what a player he's been for us in pre-season. Since Madueke arrived, I really did see again the same potential where give him time, play him. And I think he is improving. I think his, ability to take on his man has always been great, and I think naturally that kind of final decision as well, where does he shoot, does he pass, is also improving. So it's great to see. I would like to see though, and this goes for all our forwards, some more responsibility from everyone taken. When you have the opportunity to shoot, do it. Do it, because miracles can happen, right? We've seen it time and time again where teams will punish us when they do that against us. Just take the risk. Just take it upon yourself to shoot, because what we do too much is the ball becomes a hot potato in opposition's boxes and we just kind of pass it around and then it ends up in our box somehow. So yeah, but that's it guys. Overall, I'm happy. Conference League is interesting, and I said this because I made a TikTok about it. It was quite funny. I was wearing my away kit from our Champions League winning season in 2012, and I have Lampard on the back as well on my way to a Conference League game. But yeah, that's how times have changed. So strap in, Chelsea fans. It's not going to be easy, but when has it ever been in recent time? Just enjoy it, support, and that's it. That's my message to you guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video though, guys. If you have done so, then smash the likes, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we're on the way to 6,000, not too far off. So if you can help me get there, that would be much appreciated. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Up the Chelsea.